Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer Podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Master Captain Angie Scott.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 302 of the Woman Angler and Adventurer Podcast. So I still have a few more exciting episodes to share with you from conversations I had while down at this year's ICAST in Orlando, Florida, and I hope you've been enjoying them so far. Some of you may not know, but I've been on the Seatow Foundation's Boating Safety Advisory Council for a few years now. Boating safety is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. As well, boating is a super fun activity. It's not inherently safe, and people need to be aware of the importance of always keeping safety top of mind while you're out on the water. One of the biggest things people can do to make sure that they're being safe out there is wearing a proper fitting personal flotation device, or PFD. To help raise awareness for this, Seatow Foundation has been running a super fun life jacket challenge campaign with weekly prizes. There's still a little bit of time left if you want to join in on the fun. I'm going to try and do this as well before the time's up. I'll put a link to the challenge in the show notes for this episode, so if you're interested in checking it out and giving it a try, you can go look at that. But basically all you need to do is make a video, try to put a life jacket on within 30 seconds, and then put your video up on your socials, tagging Seatow Foundation and using the hashtag STF Life Jacket Challenge. There's a fun video with some faces you might recognize up on their website, so be sure and check out that link. And this runs through September 4th of 2023. So I spent a little time volunteering for the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and during that time, I learned that the United States Coast Guard relies on products by Mustang Survival to keep their members safe on the water. So when I was shopping for my first PFD, there was no question of what brand I was going to go with. On this week's episode, I got to meet up with Bassmaster Elite Series angler Carl Jocumsen to talk about some of the products from Mustang that he relies on when fishing competitively in all kinds of conditions. Unlike any on-location interviews, sometimes we experience a technical difficulty. Unfortunately, we lost the little section where Carl was talking about the Mustang Elite 28 hydrostatic inflatable PFD that he wears. Luckily, that's the same one I wear, so I'll be able to cover the details on that and my personal experience with it. And if you follow me on social media, you might have seen that I have a golden doodle puppy named Lakeland. And we named her Lakeland, hoping that she would love to be on a boat and love to swim and be a water dog. And thankfully she is. We might have got more than we asked for, actually. But we're always making sure that she has a life jacket on anytime she's swimming, even though she's naturally a really, really good swimmer. You just never know what could happen. And Mustang has her covered. Carl even has the Mustang Underdog PFD for their dog Rue as well, and I'm going to touch on my experience with that a little bit as well. All right, lots of exciting stuff to tell you about here, so let's get into it. Hey everyone, it's Angie Scott with the Woman Angler and Adventurer Podcast down here at ICAST in Orlando, Florida. We're here at the Mustang Survival space, and we're going to talk about some great products they have. I actually have an expert with me today, Carl Jocumsen, back on the show. So Carl, take it away. Tell us about this coat that you love.
So yeah, this has been with Mustang Survival for a long time now, and over my career, you know, we don't have air conditioning where we fish. It's outside, you're in the elements day in, day out, and usually the weatherman is wrong and we're getting heavy rain, we fish in cold conditions at the start of the season, and my Taku suit literally keeps me out there daylight till dark. I've fished in it in torrential conditions from 5 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, and I'm totally dry by that afternoon, and that is a big deal. There's not many suits that do that. Mustang are specialists in keeping people dry because of the sailing. They have to keep those sailors dry because they're constantly getting wet through what they do, and so it was easy for them to be able to create a fishing suit to keep us 100% dry. So basically the material is just different. It's a heavy duty material, but it just doesn't let that moisture get through at all day. It's one of the only suits I've ever worn that will keep you dry daylight till dark. But a couple of my favorite features is a big one, is your double wrist cuffs here. So around your wrist you have two separate seals, and for me when I'm bass fishing, sometimes I'm grabbing bass out of the live well, you have to keep your hand dry, and then when you're fishing you've got your hands upright when you're working a jig or working a lure, and that's when that moisture gets down into your sleeves and it can end up running down actually onto your body. So around the sleeves you have this cuff, and it'll actually seal it up around your wrist, and then you have a secondary cuff that comes around and seals it, and that just keeps your arms 100% dry. So full hood, full put-away hood. It has elastic bands that sort of really pull it tight in around your hat for when you're running. The front face shield really covers you up, so when I've got a hat on, my hood, my glasses, I can run fast in my bass boat and stay 100% dry. And they do the matching bibs with the jacket. It's called the Taku suit, and it's a jacket and suit that you can buy and pretty much have for a lifetime.
Sounds like a game changer for hardcore anglers who are going to be out there in all the conditions, because the last thing you want to do is be uncomfortable when you're wanting to focus on catching fish.
Yeah, 100%. It's that's the biggest thing. I get co-anglers out there that don't have the right gear, and you're out there all day and they're uncomfortable. It can be miserable, but you stay dry and warm in nasty conditions, and it's fun. I actually enjoy it. So it's a layering system. The Taku's a fairly heavy material, so they do a few other like light summertime style, but this is your outside layer. So when it's cold, you want to layer up underneath it, and then this is your final shell. But if you are in the market for a high-end rain suit, definitely check out the Taku suit.
So as I mentioned in the intro, I have the Elite 28 hydrostatic inflatable PFD from Mustang. There are several features that I love about this. First of all, I fish tournaments, and sometimes I do some on-the-water trainings for new members of Freedom Boat Club as well, and it can be stifling hot out there in the south and southeast, and so having a really low-profile option has been a lifesaver in those conditions. It's super comfortable, and even in the opposite conditions, when it's cold and I have a lot of layers on, it doesn't add to the bulkiness. And sometimes, depending on the conditions, I'll even keep my vest on the entire time, even while I'm fishing, not just while I'm running from one spot to another. And again, having that low profile vest is great because it doesn't hinder my movements while I'm casting or landing a fish. In tournaments, at least with the LBA, we have a rule that anytime the big motor is running, you have to have your PFD on. It has to be secured, and the operator needs to have the kill switch attached somehow to your person. So Mustang included a super handy clip on the right hand side of the vest to easily clip your kill switch to, and it keeps the cord out of your way while you're operating the boat. And it also makes it really easy to not forget to attach the lanyard when you get ready to go again, because what I normally do, I just keep it attached to that clip, and when I'm ready to fish, I just set my jacket on the seat, so that way when I get ready to run to a new spot, it's there. I have to remember to put it on, and the lanyard is already attached. It only has one buckle in the front, so that makes it super easy and fast to put it on and take it off if you're, in a tournament situation, you're trying to hurry. The other cool thing is the hydrostatic technology. What that means is in order for it to inflate, you have to be submerged in a certain amount of water. It has to have a certain amount of pressure before it will go off, unlike some of the older styles where there's a tablet that dissolves when it gets wet. So potentially if you're fishing in really heavy rain, or maybe you have a little bit of standing water at the bottom of your boat and your jacket is sitting there, it could potentially cause that jacket to go off when you're not intending it to. And then you have to rearm it again before you can use it again. Which, by the way, always have an extra rearming kit or two with you in case you do need that. It's always important to have those on hand. But this hydrostatic jacket also has a manual handle to pull in the event that you needed to inflate your vest out of the water or for some other situation. So highly recommend the Elite 28 hydrostatic inflatable PFD. Like I said, it's the same one Carl uses as well. So go check that out. So I mentioned the Golden Doodle Lakeland. She really likes Mustang's underarm foam flotation device. This design is unlike any other life jackets I've seen on the market for dogs. It's super adjustable. So Lakeland, she's really long and lanky. And so it allows you to adjust it to your dog's particular dimensions and fit. They have a size chart on the website so you can measure their chest and make sure that you're starting off with the right one. But from there, you can make adjustments according to your particular dog. But they also took into account the natural swim angle that a dog has, and the way that they designed it, it gives your dog maximum mobility in the water. As an avid swimmer like Lakeland, she really appreciates that. One of my favorite features of the jacket, though, is that it has two handles, and they're yellow, so they really stand out. They're easy to see. But Lakeland's only 9 months old, and she's already 49 pounds. So when it comes time to pull her back into the boat, it's great to be able to get two grips on her to be able to comfortably lift her back up in the boat from the water. So definitely check that out as well. Would you like fishing and hunting information and tips from experienced outdoors women? Want to learn more about outdoor gear that works for you? Want inspiration and try to find something new in the outdoors? Then subscribe to Adventurous, the only women's hunting and fishing magazine. Adventurous is a high-quality print magazine you'll be sure to love, and it makes a great gift for other outdoors women and youth. Subscribe at adventurousmagazine.com. All right, now we're going to talk about some fair weather gear that Mustang has released. I actually got to wear the hooded Adelphi on Monday down here in Florida, where it's really brutally hot, but the sun was shining down and really kept me comfortable all day. So Carl, talk a little bit about this new fair weather gear.
Yeah, it's an amazing shirt. I actually got to test it out this time last year. We did a photo shoot down here in Florida over several days, in the 90s, and super impressed. They did a great job. 50 UPF sun protection. It's made from 100% recycled polyester, which is super cool. It's a lightweight material. It comes in 3 different colors. It comes in a crew neck as well as a hooded. If you like fishing, the hooded is great because you want to protect your ears, protect your neck from the UV rays. It has a great thumb hole there to keep the sleeves down up over your wrists and over the top of your hands. And it comes in both men's and women's, which is super cool. So Kayla's really been enjoying wearing the women's range in the blue and in the off-white colour as well. And super comfortable. It's kind of a loose fit. You can put a shirt on underneath it if you want or not. But this is a big deal for me because I'm in a fishing shirt about every day of my life. So it has to be a high-end shirt for me to continue to wear it, and I absolutely love it. So if you're in the market for a solid fishing shirt, definitely check out the Mustang Adelphi.
Very cool. All right, everyone, that does it for this week's episode of the Woman Angler and Adventure podcast. I hope you enjoyed learning about some of these products from Mustang Survival. Go to mustangsurvival.com to check them out. I'll also put individual links to these specific products directly in the show notes for this episode. So just look there if you're interested in checking any of those out further. Special thank you to Carl Jocumsen for taking some time out of a busy ICAST schedule to share some information about these specific products that he uses and his experience as well. And see y'all next week.